She delivered her final ultimatum about intimacy, her voice sharp enough to leave frost on every surface in the room. Daniel, if you keep pushing, this will be the last time I ever. She let the sentence fall apart halfway through. She didn't have to finish. I'd survived enough variations of that warning to recognize its shape before the words even landed. But this time, something inside me didn't break. It settled, low and steady, like a truth finally finding its place. I breathed out slowly and let a small, unwavering smile form, the kind a man learns only after years of swallowing disappointment. All right, I murmured. I don't need it anymore. It wasn't rebellion. It wasn't pride. It was survival. My last foothold in a marriage where connection had bled out one slow drop at a time. Claire hadn't always been a ghost hovering by the doorway. There was a time when she radiated warmth, laughter, effortless affection. But over the years, that brightness dimmed into weary disinterest, as if her life had slipped into autopilot and our relationship became nothing more than background noise she ignored without noticing. And I had tried, God. I had given everything I had. Touches, gestures, long talks, nights out, staying awake until dawn hoping a spark might return. But the response was always the same. A tired exhale, a distracted shrug, eyes drifting somewhere over my shoulder as though any direction was better than toward us. The night everything shifted was painfully ordinary. A quiet evening at home, nothing remarkable. I walked toward her searching for something small. A moment of closeness, proof that we were still a we, and not simply two people sharing a roof. Instead, she drew her boundary, clear, final, a line that felt carved in stone. And for the first time, I didn't step forward to erase it. For weeks before that moment, I had already begun drifting internally, pulling back not from spite, but from clarity. Something had died, and I finally accepted that I was the only one grieving it. Once I stopped wrestling with the truth, a strange calm took root. I stopped counting the nights she turned her back, stopped listening to the silence at dinner, stopped trying to squeeze affection from hands that had long since closed. I started redirecting my energy toward myself, my career, my friends, the hobbies I had abandoned while trying to keep our worlds stitched together. I laughed again, genuinely. My shoulders felt lighter, and Claire noticed. Her glances toward me changed, softened around the edges with uncertainty. Are you really okay with this? She asked one night. I'm completely fine, I replied, and for once the words weren't a mask. Days slid by. I remained calm, courteous, but unmistakably distant. I didn't beg, didn't barter, didn't chase a connection she had stopped tending to long ago, and that alone began to unravel her. She had built her sense of control on the expectation that I would always be the one repairing the fractures, apologizing first, holding everything together. But that man was gone now, and the shift shook her. Then came the moment the entire dynamic flipped. I was out sharing dinner with Samantha, a coworker who valued my time and genuinely enjoyed my company. Nothing flirtatious, nothing crossing a line. Just two people talking, laughing, feeling human. Claire saw us from across the street. In an instant, the authority she had counted on vanished. My phone exploded with messages, one after another, increasingly frantic. Then the calls. For weeks she had shaped the emotional temperature of our home. Now faced with the possibility that I had stepped beyond her orbit, emotionally, not romantically, she spiraled. I didn't answer, not yet. I let the wave crash without moving from my calm. Her ultimatum didn't matter anymore. You can't weaponize the loss of something a person has already taught themselves to stop needing. The next morning she approached me. Daniel, we need to talk, she said, trying to slip back into the tone she always used when she wanted to steer my emotions. I met her gaze steadily. I'm listening. She circled through concern, confusion, irritation, every tactic meant to pull me into the old pattern. But the hook no longer found its place. I wasn't angry. I was simply no longer anchored by her approval, and the realization cracked something fragile inside her. For the first time, I saw it clearly in her eyes. Fear, loss of control, the dawning understanding that nothing she said could shift me back into the role I had lived in for years. I had discovered something she never expected, peace that didn't depend on her. That evening, I met Samantha again. We wandered through quiet streets after dinner, talking lightly, laughing at things that felt simple instead of burdensome. For the first time in years, I felt present in my own skin, unchained, unguilty, no longer waiting for affection that never arrived. Claire sensed it, the ease, the glow, the freedom. By the end of the week, the messages faded. No more check-ins, no questions laced with guilt, no edge of panic. She finally understood. Her power had only ever existed because I wanted something from her. And I didn't anymore. I wasn't retaliating. I wasn't punishing her. I was simply living, without chains, without pleading, without clinging to the illusion of intimacy she had withheld for so long. Strength isn't always loud. Sometimes the quietest shift becomes the clearest victory. Her last warning lost all relevance the moment I accepted the truth. I never needed her permission to feel whole. And in that clarity, something long dormant rose inside me: freedom. I no longer needed her threats. I no longer needed her approval. I no longer needed the intimacy she dangled like a prize. I had reclaimed my self-worth, and that felt more intimate than anything she had offered in years.